Anyone have any questions for Tamar?
First, thank you, Thomas, for being here. Everybody's saying hello, hello back. And I'm thrilled to be here. Isn't it fun? I started watching some of the classes last night.
Yeah,
I'm blown away. I was texting Karen Tamir, like, can't believe it. How did you do that? They're like, I was like, wow.
I
Did you see
know.
that one? Holy
I was
cow.
watching yours today. Here, I'll show you what I've made so far.
No, you did not. Stop
I did
making it.
too.
You kid? No, you're kidding me?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Wow.
not kidding. I am not kidding. I made my, there's
Wow.
more, but I don't see where it's at because my craft room is very, very messy. So here's my spine and here's the starting of my pocket. And I do have some other pieces and now I don't know where they're at, but they are here. It was the front pieces here and I
Mhm.
did purple and so I'm doing purples and grays and a little bit of
Nice.
green. When I find it, I'll show it to you. But I'm
Nice.
super excited about your projects because I am always looking for those are like areas that I don't have a lot of ideas
Mm.
and I just love it. So
I'm in some groups for junk journaling and newbies, and I'm always looking to see what people want so that I can try and give it to them. And I conducted a survey and I gave them a whole bunch of options. And I did one project and I'm like, I don't know if people would be going all the way to that if they're, new. And then I did another project and I'm like, So I did like three projects before I decided which one I'm actually going to do because they said most of them, I mean, the vast majority really wanted to do interactive. And this is my strong suit. I love interactive elements. And I said, let me see what I can cram into 30
well,
minutes.
I mean, I'm watching the first like few
Yeah.
minutes and you're showing stuff and I'm totally blown away in the first like 2 minutes. And I'm like,
Wow.
all right, I'm hanging around here. I gotta know how to do that.
Uh, you know, to be honest with you, once you get the principle, you can do so much with that. You know, uh, it's really the basic stuff, but yeah, all my albums have it, all my things have it. So
No, I love your stuff.
and I have a new thing because when I did that, I was on a roll of making flowers, and I was like, I gotta use some of these.
Yeah,
So I
your
said,
flowers project last time.
oh, that one was different. Yeah, the one with the
Beautiful.
circles.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love that technique too.
So
But
Robin says, Tamara, I love everything about your presentation. I'm new to
yeah,
junk art journaling, but I'm excited to try some of these. So, yeah.
thank you. Yeah, I mean it's fun. So after I finished this and I'm doing it, and I said, how about I do something different? I've done something that I've never done before in this project, which is build the pages on the bottom part of the album and leave the top free. And I thought usually I do it on the side. I don't do it on the top. I put all the schmaltz and all the little, elements and things that I want sticking out on the side of the album. I've never done it really on the top.
Oh, yeah.
So I made the
Yes.
page and the pocket shorter than the
Right.
actual cover. And it was a little challenging, and I also did a combination of the hinge with the sewn element, which is so I decided I'm going to give you how to do the album itself as the freebie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if you're wondering what are you going to do with these pages and what are you going to do with these things and how you're going to put it together, you have it in the freebie.
Very good. Thank you so much, Tamar.
So all these things, I purposely didn't touch it. I purposely didn't touch it, but this is what you can build from just the presentation
Wow.
and the freebie. So you have the whole entire cover, which is
Oh,
has
I see what you mean. That
see?
you left it, you
Let
left
me
them short. So that you, when you put the stuff up in the top, it's still inside of the book.
exactly.
It's so beautiful. That's the one that blew me away. It's like, what?
So you can do whatever you want over here, and you can
Amazing.
have all kinds of things like dangling. I like dangles. And I thought, and
But
it's double-sided, so you can do another one for the other side
it's nice.
because it's a pocket.
Love
So
it.
yeah, so you can have 6 of those. And I thought it was kind of fun. So yeah, in the freebie, you'll have how to make the cover, how to do the signatures, how to sew them in, and how to do the hinges.
Okay, I need to make that whole thing.
Yeah, and then you can decorate it any way you want. So I give you,
Decorate it. Yours is so beautiful. It's like, does it need any more decoration?
yeah, no, you know me.
Yeah, I love your vibe though.
I have over the top, I'm not your typical, oh, no.
Well,
More,
everybody has their
this
own,
is more, no, more is more.
yeah, I love that. And you make it look so, so pretty.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, so I like also the idea that you cover the signature with,
Oh,
so when you flip it, you flip the whole signature together. And then if you want to flip inside, you just flip it out.
very
And, and this is just like leftover papers that I have. That's just what I make most of my journals about is I do
What
so
kind
many,
of paper?
it's just scrapbooking paper.
Okay.
Um, because I buy a collection or I have leftovers, I don't use everything, and then I have them laying around, and everybody has paper laying around.
You don't have enough paper.
I don't have, you want to see how much paper I have?
I see a lot right there.
No, this is nothing. I
Oh,
have a room full of them.
wow.
A room full. Yeah, I don't even want to.
I don't know, man. I
I have,
absolutely love that behind you right there.
this.
Just
Thank
all the
you.
paper, all the colors, I just love that.
I try.
Yeah. Susan says your leftover paper should be my good papers.
If anybody don't have any paper and you want a bundle, let me know. I'll send you a bundle. I'm serious. I have so much.
Gosh.
Do a de-stash sale. I'm right there. I like left all my paper behind when I moved. I'm missing paper right now.
Let me know. I have a lot. I'll send you a package.
Yeah.
Because I started with paper art, and in the beginning when I started, I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it. I like the prints, I was looking for smaller prints and doing this, and I said, oh, let me just buy stashes on eBay, and I started stashes on eBay. People
Oh,
just
I
sell
haven't
that.
even thought of that. Now I have an idea.
Yeah, and my God, you can get so much paper for so cheap on eBay because it's used, people just, torn and leftover and things. So I started collecting that. And then I said, I wanted to go into making album, not just journaling and paper craft. So I needed to be all in the same collection. So I started buying packs. And I was starting buying packs. I'm like, okay, this is getting expensive.
Yes.
So I said, I gotta somehow finance this. So I started giving classes. I opened a store. I bought it in wholesale. I used what I needed and sold the rest.
Oh,
So
cool
this,
idea.
yeah, so this is how things started rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And this is where we are today. So I have an addiction. I sell what I like. I teach what I like. I have a serious obsession with paper.
Yes. I think that all of us can identify with that.
Yeah. So,
All right, guys. I mean, Tamar's project was complicated looking, but she makes it look really easy. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask her about that?
mhm. No. I added a link to the flower tutorial in the group chat.
There's some questions in the chat. I'm not sure if you're seeing them.
I've
I
seen-
think
yeah, I
did.
had
Oh,
one.
there we go.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, Susan says, I would absolutely buy one of your D-stash paper boxes. And Desiree says Facebook Marketplace is great for used paper packs. Lynn says thrift stores usually have scrapbook paper. And then Susan says, question, do you have preferred weights or brands of cardstocks and papers?
Absolutely, I do.
Right.
I use
Yes.
heavy cardstock pattern paper. I don't use usually the thin ones. I have a bunch that I stashed from, I got at Michael's some years ago, and they're very thin. I'm using those in my junk journals a lot because in junk journals, you do want some thin ones. But in my projects, when I do a mini album, I use thick ones. So I prefer those. They're usually 230, between 190 to 230 GSM, which is heavy. I don't know if I have any here, but yeah, they're pretty heavy. I can show you here. Oh. Oh, I closed the button by myself. Do you see me?
I do.
Oh, okay, because
Yep.
I closed the screen on myself.
Yeah,
So
you're
you
good.
can hear how thick it is. That's the weight that I like to use. But
Oh, that's why your books always look so nice and crisp and
yeah, because yeah, I like something that not, it doesn't feel flimsy. But oddly enough, I do also like to use very thin paper. I just thicken it by other means, which is what I'm going to do for the class on if you have the pass. For those of you who did get the pass, it's what I'm going to be demonstrating on the class is how to take thin paper and make it thicker so you can use it in your journals.
oh, I can't wait for that one. That one really fun.
This one is fun.
Yes.
But I also like double-sided paper versus one-sided, which means it's printed on both sides because it gives me more options. And the brands that I like the most are, I use a lot of Stamperia, Minte. I use 49 and Market. I love the paper that I used here. They don't make it anymore, unfortunately. Too bad. What else I like? Ciao Bella out of Italy. They're beautiful paper. So I like those that have a lot of different images in them. But I use anything. If it has a pretty print. What I don't do usually is I don't print my own paper. Very rarely.
Yes. I do that.
A lot of people do. I tend not to. I did one project the other day, but I did my paper on the digital by myself, and then I printed it and made those little tiny houses.
Yes. Oh, that's so cute. Really cute. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my little
How
houses.
cute those are. Oh my.
So I did all the backgrounds and I painted those by myself, and then I painted it on my iPad, and then I printed them.
Oh, they're so cute.
Thank you. was fun.
Right, so we've got a couple that are working on your projects now, and a couple of people that are identifying with you as an addicted paper hoarder.
Yeah, I see that Charlia said that she loves the 80 GSM for outside covers. You're right about that. I do want to say she's right, because if you use very heavy paper on the outside covers and then you bend it, it'll crack. If the paper is too heavy, it'll crack. So 80-pound or 90-pound, if you want to bend it, it'll bend better.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Leslie,
if-
oh, sorry.
Yeah, so if you want to wrap it around uh like I do, okay, let's say here. So I wrapped it with craft color cardstock. That's 90-pound cardstock.
Okay.
So over here, it doesn't crack. It
Oh,
bends.
that's nice to know. Yeah. Yeah, because you would think like the heavier it is, the better, but I have experienced that where it doesn't fold very well.
No, no, it does fold if you fold it one way, because the way they make paper, paper is actually fibers from wood pressed together, and they go, some of them, the fibers are parallel and some are going this way. So it depends on how they make the paper. If you bend it, let me see. If you take it here, I'll try to demonstrate it. If you bend it this way, it'll bend easy, but if you try to bend it this way, it's a lot harder.
Gotcha. So the easy is how you want to fold it then?
Yes. So if you're not sure, if you have a heavy paper and you're not sure which direction, always go like this and see which direction feels easier. And that's the direction that you want to fold it. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great information. So Leslie says your video was thorough and I could understand everything you were doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
It said she loves heavier weights also. And Jenna says Minte is my fave. What's Minte?
Minte, great. I love Minte. Actually, another thing with Minte, I want to say, if you get the pass today, as the free free project, it's not a free project, it's a project that I offer as part of the pass, the magic pass. I want to show you the project. It's called a Minte catch-all or catch-all project, where you have everything really written in the directions, but you can make 3 different projects with it all together, and it builds on the idea that I made here. But the decorating is very much the same, but this is one album.
Beautiful.
Which I teach how to make
so intricate
pages. It looks intricate, but it's so simple. You're not going to believe how simple it is. It's the same page over and over and over again.
Oh, how funny. Doesn't look that way.
I know, right? So it's the same page over and over again. And you hold it with a pocket and you open it up. Oops. With a magnet. So it's the same magnet that you learn how to do, right?
Yeah.
The same magnet. Yes. I can't see like this side. Okay, and then you open a flap up. You learn how to do a flap in the class. This is just a bigger flap, but it's the same idea. You have a pocket here. It's the same pocket that I taught you how to do in the thing, but it's just bigger. And then inside you have those tags. The same thing that I taught you how to do, just bigger. Same thing. It's the same idea, just a different project. And then you open this up, if I can. Okay. And inside you have, again, you have flaps to put pictures. And then you have another one. And then inside, you have little ones that go up. So this one holds, you have room for 5x7, 4x6s, and 3x4s. And you just do it over and over and over
That's
again
really cool.
with one pack. It's a no waste project. I love no waste project because you buy what you need, you make it, and then you don't have to throw anything out.
Is there a specific amount of pages that in,
This
in
one
the
has,
pack?
yeah, this one has 6 pages, 3 hinges, 6 pages. A page is, one
Yes.
on each side.
All right.
And then if you don't want to take your time and do 6, you just want to do 4, then you have a folio. And this is a Christmas folio, again, with Minte. Same pages, exactly the same pages, but this time it's a 4-page folio.
Oh, man.
Different paper, it looks totally different. Let's say you just want to give somebody a very small one. So that's only uses 2. You have 1 on each side. So it's a very
Brain's
nice,
blowing up right now.
huh?
My brain is blowing up.
It's this, it's hard to explain, but once you get the principle, once you start making it and you try 1, you try 2, you know how to do the top flap, you know how to do the side flap, you know how to do what I showed you, the elements I showed you,
Right.
you can do a whole different album in it from
Man.
it. And the my tutorials always will be accompanied with a full-page PDF. So the PDF will have, yes, the PDF will have a table, what you need to cut, how to cut it, what to cut first,
Wow.
what color to cut it, how many you need to cut. Everything is
Amazing.
spelled out so you can print it and use that to follow. And then you have schematics. So
Wow.
all the schematics are
Pretty
here.
great.
And
Oh my gosh, so many people.
yeah, and then you can use this to how to cut the paper.
Oh,
So
I love that.
I make it very easy. Not every project is like that, but this specific one is very beginner friendly. And then when you finish doing it, you're like, wow, I really did that. I can't believe I did that. And you feel like you can do everything. Yeah. But yeah, you can. You really, really, really can.
So I completely missed that we have like 20 comments here because I'm sitting here listening. Okay, so yes. I wish I had the pass for your class. I need more. You can still get it, Vanessa. Yeah. So it has a grain. Thank you, Susan. And if you use a bone folder in the wrong direction, it tears those thick papers. All right, that's good to know. Nikki, I enjoyed your class. I'm going to try making the items later. I loved adding the shaker elements to a tag. What kind of plastic did you use for that?
What kind of plastic? I think, a Cricut makes a good one that I like theirs because it has film on both sides and it lasts a long time. It's very, very, very clear. That's the one I used. You buy it in a package. It's Cricut brand.
Is it the acetate sheets?
Oh, no,
That
no,
what they are?
sorry. No, I'm thinking about something else. You're right. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I was thinking about another project that I was doing with that. What kind of acetate? Yeah, I did not use acetate. I used the plastic, right, for the shaker. Yeah, just plastic. I had a wrap of something from just a plastic wrap from a package.
Just the kind that has like the fold over sticky thing, like that thickness, that kind?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So save your plastic things that your stickers and your papers and stuff come in.
Yeah, because I was thinking, junk journal, I better use junk, right?
Nadia says, hello, I love making mini albums, but I struggle with the decorating. Also use 65-pound paper to cover the albums. Love your albums, Tamar.
Why are you struggling with the decorating? Can you unmute her and we can see?
Yes, sure. I mean, she can unmute herself. Are you here, Nadia?
Yeah, it's recycled salad baker. I also struggle with decorating. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of tip how I do it. First of all, I get addicted to one kind, but I build my elements before I do a project. And it again, it's one of the things that I show in the tutorial of the big thing. I keep my scraps, keep your scraps, whatever you have, pieces of fabric, pieces of yarn, laces, buttons, threads, um, pieces of paper, old books, little pictures that you find, all sorts of things, even a little bit of paint you can take. Keep it all in a little box. And when you have time and you sit in front of the TV, take a bunch together and glue them together. Just make small clusters, okay? Not more than 2 inches by 3 inches. Just make small clusters. Then you'll have a bunch of really colorful, fun things. And if you don't know what to decorate with, just take it and stick it down there. That's all. And I can show you one. I'll show you one. Okay. Yeah, here, this is a good one to show. So you see this little thing here?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
There's just 4 elements on it. Just like you left over some scrap paper, an image, and a punch, something that I use the punch to cut.
oh, that's really cute punch too.
Yes. So I did that, and I just put them the elements one on top of the other, one on top of the other. You have a stapler, that's even better. Just staple it together. You have some threads, just stick some threads there and staple it together. That's one way to decorate. Another way that you can decorate is keep simple things around your table. Rhinestones, a punch is always a good thing, basic punches, little hearts or little circles, and you just can stick a circle there. A lot of companies will sell you books with elements. Can I show a book with the elements in it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please.
I can show you one. So actually, I have a few. Which is also a fun way to do it. So here is Minte's Book of Elements. And this is a wing book. So it has butterflies and birds and things like that.
Nice.
And it's
Oh,
just
cool.
little pictures that you take and you cut them. You just cut all the way around them.
Okay.
And
And
you can just cut those elements and put it there.
That's a pretty pad. What is it?
This is Minte. It's called Wing Book.
I'm like,
wing book.
I'm gonna remember to go back and
I
look.
know. I'm
like, that's a
actually
pretty
just
pad. I
hopped
was
on,
like, what is that?
I just hopped on Amazon and I'm looking for it. Uh-huh.
In Minte's collection, they will give you a sheet of these so you can cut around. So when you cut around those images, it's called fussy cutting. You don't have that, you can use rub-ons. So rub-ons are very thin. And again, they have decorative elements on there. A lot of people use them in junk journaling or journaling period. You just rub the decoration on. So yeah, it's like different images. keep them. If you have a theme, you can keep them in a theme. In junk journaling, there's really, I don't usually do themes. I just use whatever, by colors. I like to go by different colors. And I stick it on there. I have a drawer here with different things. And I have like different fibers and different laces. So I just will take a piece and stick it on. So I have a drawer with fibers, a drawer with buttons, a drawer with beads, and I'll just stick it on. Don't overthink it. I think that's the best advice I can give you is really don't overthink it. Just do it.
Let it flow, huh?
Let it flow, just stick it on there, and it's a lot of fun. You can do anything you want with that. So I hope I helped.
Yeah, of course, you totally did. So let me read some of these really quick. Okay. I love mini albums, but I love to do folios because they're quicker. I struggle with junk journals. It is just hard cutting the lovely papers. I'm also fussy with how I put the papers to each page. That's Nadia as well. And Fonda says, making clusters is so much fun. I have to be careful or I end up with so many, I can't use them all.
Yeah, you can. Just put 5, 6, 7 on page.
Yeah. Susan says, who else just showed the mini book they made about wings? I know, I was just thinking about that too, Susan. Somebody just said that they did a book with, I think it was Therese, as a matter of fact. Oh my gosh. Leslie calls it cussy cutting.
So if you don't like fussy cutting and you have money to spend, you can buy one of those like a Brothers Scan and Cut, and they'll fussy cut for you. Or you can just buy die cuts. Usually those companies will also have a pack of die cuts. So they have the elements already cut for you.
I also scan sometimes. If I really like a paper, I'll scan it in and then just run it through my Cricut.
Yeah.
No.
And Robin says she struggles with putting clusters together. Can you tell us a little bit about how you choose how to make those?
Yeah, I'll show you. How about that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm just grabbing elements.
Sure.
Let me cut this.
Nikki says the thing I like best is when I do a page, I change what I'm doing as I go along. So the final product is a surprise. That's usually how I do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I keep sometimes I have leftovers and I keep them as little things. So I have some I don't know, I got some gold butterflies here.
Cute. Ooh, I like that.
All right, I have some leftovers from a project here. So I'm just going to grab that. And you can keep it down to just a few elements. Here I have a pack of die cuts here that I haven't used all of them. So let's take something from here. This is like plastic.
Oh, nice.
See what else we have. See, I'm not really overthinking it too much. I'll take this. All right. And let's see if I have leftovers. I usually don't have a lot of leftovers, but. I'm not even coordinating the colors, mind you.
I think that's a thing, I know for me, I have a hard time with that. Like I'm looking for the exact right colors. And I think I end up making them like, monocolored. You know what I mean?
Monochromatic.
Yeah, which is fine, but I like color.
Yeah.
Color coordination. Okay, so Susan wants to know about color coordination, how you do that.
How do I do the color coordinating of the?
Yeah.
So basically everything that you do will have three basic colors in a color theme. Like if you do a mini album, like if you see a mini album collection, if you look at any design, will have three basic colors plus two supporting colors. So you have 2/3 of those basic colors, let's say pink, red, yellow, which are warm colors. And then you'll have a support color. It can be maybe a shade of brown, maybe a shade of cream, maybe a shade of green that will support it. And then you might have like a gray, black, brown, or something like that to accent those colors. So try to use a color palette between 3 and 6. Don't go over that. If you go over that, you're in trouble. So pick your basic 3, pick a supporting color, and then you can add 2 more that will go. If you want to be on the safe side and make sure that whatever it is you do will always look good, the trick is to keep it all in the same family. So either do all warms or all colds. Don't mix the two.
So can you tell us what warm and cold colors are, just in case?
Yeah, warm colors are anything in the reds and yellow families.
Okay.
I just pulled it right off my,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't think about, I just pulled 4 warm colors. You'll use 4 warm colors, it'll look fantastic. Cold colors are blues, purples, greens. These are the warm colors, cold colors. So here I'll show you. I'm not even looking, like I have 200 colors sitting right next to me. I just grabbed whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
Man,
don't,
I don't think I'd have ever done that before.
yeah.
All right.
So um
I feel like you're giving me just like a class, just me.
all right, let's do our cluster.
Yes. See that.
Right. All right. I'm not even thinking, I'm just cutting it out. I don't have my stapler here, but I will use my glue. And let's see if I can get a bottle of glue somewhere. All right, so I'm just taking my glue and I'm gluing them right on top of the other. Can you see?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Okay. So I'll tie this up. And there is no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I just do. And what I'm doing right now is I'm building a little tiny composition and clustering everything together. So you will get some elements on top, some elements will be hidden. This might be a little bit more difficult to glue because it's plasticky. So you might want to keep maybe a clip on it. And then, I don't know, maybe this one on the bottom, it'll look pretty. So I'll glue this on the bottom to make it look pretty. And maybe this one I'll put under the flower, like that. And I'll take my clips. Hold on, let me grab a couple of clips. And I'll let it dry a minute. But that's it. That's a cluster.
I love it.
Isn't that cute? Now, if you want to really have fun with it, when you glue it over to your page, don't glue the whole thing, just glue one side of it. And then you can see
Oh,
something
yes.
under.
Okay. Cool.
And that's a little cluster. If you have a stapler, the easiest way really is to just staple it together and you have a cluster. And it's a fun way of using leftovers.
Yeah, so that brings us to Michelle's question, and she says, when you save so much stuff to make all the pretty things, tags, papers, scraps, etc., how do you get started? I think you may have already answered this.
When you save the things, a lot of friends or in some journal groups, they will do swaps. So you save some, you still don't use them, you put it in an envelope, you send it to somebody, they'll send you theirs. We do that. It's fun way when you swap things.
Yeah.
If you really have a lot that you haven't used it for a while, and you can always sell it on eBay. I do that a lot. And I buy that a lot. I buy a lot of stuff on eBay. Somebody will, like I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this looks great. Why did they not use it?
Okay, I'm going to eBay.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yes.
Fun.
So, let's see.
eBay is good because they're selling used stuff where you can really, anybody can just go and switch.
Susan says, I reiterate my earlier statement about your scraps being my good papers. Those patterns are gorgeous. And Leslie says, and just like that, it's done. That's exactly kind of what I thought. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that was fast. I overthink those things. And Robin says, thank you for showing how you do the cluster.
You're welcome. You're
I
welcome.
think I tend to overthink it too much. Same. And Cheryl says, great tip. And that's what we got so far.
The way that I work a lot of times is even if I don't want to sit here and do a full project start to finish, I just want to, sit here for 15 minutes or do something while I watch TV and I don't want to think about it. That's what I'll do. I'll just dump things in a box and I'll start gluing things together or I'll just make one page at a time. You don't have to make a whole book at a time. You can make one page at a time. And then when you have all the pages done, then you bundle them together and make it a journal.
Yeah, that's what like journal
Yeah.
prompts are really good for, really, really good for that.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have anything else they want to see of Tamar's? Or no? Now's the time to pick her brain.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Yeah. Can you just tell us everything? Just every single thing.
Where can they always find you? I put up your link to your website.
Yeah.
If you want to keep on learning, we got that too.
Tamar Perry Art is where you can find me on YouTube. Creative Treasures is my website. I have tamarperryart.com. That's my new endeavor now with the Creative Co-op. And I'm on Instagram, but Facebook. If I think YouTube and my Facebook page is where I really post everything. I'm lazy with Instagram.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I can't get this.
Yeah, I have been lately.
Yeah.
Like I've tried to keep reposting over there and I forget all the time now.
Yeah, same. So Susan says, what project would you like to make that you have not done yet?
I'd like to make project period. I'm so busy doing other things that I really don't want to do. My favorite that I have to finish, I started, but I haven't finished it yet. I actually put it aside, is my daughter's shower book. But it was 4 months ago that the shower took place. And that's the cover.
That's so pretty.
Wow. That's really, really cool.
I made it a special for those small 2x3s, and I gave each guest a camera so that they can take a bunch of pictures during the shower. Now I have to put it in.
Nice. Look at that.
I know. So this
So
is,
beautiful.
remember this?
Mm,
That's what I
Oh,
did
yeah, yeah.
I love
last.
that.
Yeah, it's fun. So that's what I want to finish. The next project that I need to finish is do a frame for my grandson's footprints. She took footprints of his little tiny feet, and I have to make a frame.
Oh,
And for the holidays, I want to give my colleagues home blessing. So I'm gonna make it again with the maybe floral frame and something fun, and put the home blessing on it. And I think
nice.
that's fun thing to do.
Well, everybody loves your book. And Susan says, "Can you adopt me?"
Gladly.
Nadia says, "I have a lot of projects to finish, albums and cards." I know, same. It doesn't matter how much I niche down, because I niche down from handmade gifts to this. It does not matter. It,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I still have all the projects.
Yeah, you know, for me, it's a little different because I try to record everything that I do. So when I do a project, not for me, but for a class, it takes me maybe a weekend to do the project, but it takes me a month to do everything else, the recording, the PDF, the this, the this, the that. It's very time consuming.
Well, you put so much work into it, you know.
Yeah. But when I do it for me, sometimes, you know, here, actually, I just have it here. I didn't have a lot of time. I like making little ones.
Yes, that's so cute.
I know miniature ones are so much fun.
Yeah, I love miniature ones. I like all of them, really. I just,
It's so much fun. So yeah, I did that one. I think it's so cute. It doesn't always have to be a big one. At any given time, I don't have many projects happening. If I started one and it's not going anywhere, I'll scrap it. I'm just, you know, I'm not into it. If I didn't finish it, it means I'm not into it, and I'll just scrap it. It's okay because you enjoy the process. You don't, it's not just about the finished product, it's about the process of it. It'll happen a lot, especially in my art journals. Like, oh, I have an idea, let me try. And I'll open my journal and I'll start something, and it doesn't go anywhere. And I'll take my brush and like, and I'll put it aside. And I'll start something else, or I'll move away from it. And if you're not enjoying it, move away from it. It's just a craft project. That's all.
it's kind of like that whole thing where we think we're supposed to like eat every single thing on our plate, you know, or finish every single package of food. You know what I mean?
Right. No, it really isn't. And sometimes, you know, you start something and you don't even know what it's going to end up like. And it happens to me, like I will do something and I will work on something, and all of a sudden I will like scream, "Oh yeah." I'll do something that I really like, that I didn't expect. These are the moments that I love about it. I
I
love
think
that.
Nikki just talked about that. She just said something about that. Yeah, I totally love that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah, we got. Good idea. Just walk away. What is your website? Put up your website. I put your link in there. Holly was saying BTC sized. Yep.
Is your website Creative Treasures?
Yeah, creative dash treasures.
Okay.
So
What's your other one too?
Okay.
I have, well, the Creative Dash Treasures is my store that I had for a while, but because I'm switching around, I'm changing it a little bit. The tamarperryart.com will be the members only hub, creative co-op. So I'm going to have 2 stores and 2 websites, and they're going to be sort of together.
Nice.
Yeah. I know have grandiose big ideas, and then I sit down to try to implement it. And I'm like, why the hell did I?
I like me.
But I'm very motivated. I'm not the kind of person who sit on my thumbs and do nothing. I
Yeah.
always have to do something. And I like that idea. I've been wanting to do this for so long. And I think the reality of how we live today with, you know, people want to get into crafts and they want to be creative and they want to learn, but you know, it's an expensive hobby. It
Yeah.
can get expensive.
Yeah, it sure can.
So
Definitely. I think that's why people
ways
like these events so much, you know.
yeah.
Um,
It's important, you know, it's really important to give, because the more you give, the more you receive. That's what I find. That's why I do it. You know,
yeah.
you think I'm inspiring you? You guys inspire me,
Isn't
you
that
know, a
cool? I
lot.
love that about this community. I mean, people think that they're, you know, going to come here and learn a whole bunch of stuff from us, and they will, you know, but also they share their stuff and we're like, what? You know, and it's just, it's amazing. Everybody has something to bring to the table, and I just love that.
All give and take. It's really all give and take. You know, I learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Crafting is hazardous to my health, my wealth.
I will.
But really, I mean, I would urge you guys to check it out. I put a video up there last night. I'm like, you know, I don't know if people will understand what I have in what the idea is about. So I
Yeah, I
recorded.
was going to say, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, you know, if you go to tamarperryart.com, I did record the whole thing. But the idea is the power of many. The more we have people in the co-op, the better, the more we can get. So not just supplies at deep discounts, but also, let's say uh, I'll get teachers. Let's say I'll ask Christy to give a class that she already gives at $20. And I was like, Christy, you know what? I have 500 members in my club. How about you'll give it to them for $15 or for $10? Or how about you'll come and host a class for us? And I think that will, you know, to give them a lot of options like that.
Oh,
And
that's
so it'll be a co-op driven, like the cherry on top, I call it, is that it's not mine, it's everybody's. So if Carol, for example, you want to be a member and you have, well, I want to do this class and I want to do this project and I want to teach others. I just don't know if they'll like it or not like it or want it or don't want it. By all means, do the class, record it, or create a PDF and put it in the class and say, you know, charge $5 for it and see if it happens. It's all yours. You can do whatever you want to do within the bounds.
Really cool.
Yeah. And then you can give, you know, say, I want to do a project and let's all get together. Who wants to join me? And we'll buy all the supplies together. So you'll get the supplies really cheap.
Oh, that's a really cool idea.
And we'll do like a swap of materials. So if you're a card maker and you like Stampin' Up, so you know that to buy a Stampin' Up stamp and die cut will cost you $50. So you're not going to buy all the new ones that they'll come up with. You'll buy one or two. But how about 4 people get together and say, we'll each buy one and we'll rotate.
Oh, wow. That's a
You'll
good
have
idea.
it. You'll have it for a month. You'll do whatever you want, as many cards, you know, because you do, you know, a few cards. After a while you get tired of it. You're not going to keep using it.
Yeah, that's true. And then it
But
just takes up
rotate.
space.
And
Nikki's
what's
asking
probably,
I'm sorry. And Nikki is asking if Canadians can join.
you can join. The only thing Canadians, the stipulation is I cannot ship it to you at US prices. Your shipping cost will be different.
I
But
wonder if like,
but you can join
eventually like, Canadians have a little piece of it, you know what I mean? And they do the swapping, if they want to stay inside, you know what I mean, with the shipping costs of
Yeah.
their country or whatever.
Eventually down the line, I'll have a UK, an Australian, and a Canadian hub. I might be able to do UK because I have connections in the UK. So if you have connections with other stores in the UK, you can do that.
Right.
Uh,
That's interesting.
yeah, so it's something that needs to be built. It didn't open the doors yet, so we'll have to build on that. But you definitely can join in if you want. I might do a special price without the discounts. I don't know yet. I haven't finalized all the details. But put your name down. You don't have to pay anything for at least until March or April. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's at tamarperryart.com.
yes.
So you guys go and check that out if that sounds like something you would be interested in. And let's see, does anyone have any more questions or comments for Tamar before we let her go? Let's see. Desiree said, can we get the discount?
Yeah,
Let me get
she's
the
in
discount.
Canada too.
In
Oh,
Canada?
Oh, she's in
Yeah.
Canada. Okay.
She's
I can
asking to
give
get
you
the
the discount, but you'll have to pay the shipping. That's all it is.
I mean, basically, you're still paying the exchange rate version, but at least a discount version, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets tricky. I've been trying to find like every which way to. I have a lot of Canadian people on my site, and I'm always like, I will figure out the best shipping for you. It might take like way longer to get to you, but yeah, it gets tricky.
It's just expensive.
Yeah.
I cannot give them rates ahead of time. I mean, they have to tell me what they want. I have to see how much it weighs and give an
yes.
estimate.
Yeah.
But I'm a buyer by trade. I've been doing buying for 30 years, so I know it in and out. And I do import and export. So there are a lot of things that involve when you export to another country, which I know how to do. So
I need to talk to you later. A lot. I have all these people always asking me, like, can I get your tool here? Can I get this here? I'm like, you can, but I only know how to do the basics of shipping it out to you. So if you're willing to pay for it, okay. But
yeah, I don't have it automated. I'll give you that one. I don't have it automated because when I did have it automated, it never calculated the correct
yeah.
cost. And I ended up losing quite a bit of money on that.
Yeah, I did that for a couple. There was a couple of orders that I did. I ended up having to pay out of my own pocket like a good $20-30 in shipping.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
not calculating correctly.
Yeah.
That's
It's
why I
not,
kind of pulled back on a lot of the international. Sorry, guys. That was a lot.
yeah. And another thing is, I don't, unless I ship UPS and I insure it, I don't tell guys that if it gets lost along the way, it gets lost along the way. Because I have a friend in Indonesia that I send a lot of things to her because she buys here. I collect it for her and I ship it to her. And I can tell you 50% of the shipments never make it to her.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's
too
crazy.
high.
So
It's crazy.
I cannot guarantee it'll arrive.
Yeah. I've had a lot of mine get stuck in customs in other countries, and I mean, one luckily, like right at the last minute, showed up at the door after like a month and a half.
Mhm. Yeah, all sorts of things happen. So as long as the customer knows that, you're only responsible to put it out the door and give it a tracking number. That's all you can do. After that, it's, not in our hands, really.
It's out in the universe.
Yeah, not in our hands.
Oh, I forgot. Stay on.
So Tamar's our last Q&A for today, but we usually hang out for just a little bit. If anybody wants to hang out or has any other questions about anything else, now is a good time to ask. Any more last minute questions for Tamar? Go ahead and get those in.
Yeah. So
Sometimes it shows up after a few months. Yeah. I've had some people be like, when it comes, I'll just let you know. I'm like, okay. Luckily, so far, every single one of them has shown up, but some of them have taken a while.
yeah. So I'm glad that I was able to do this for you guys.
We thank you for doing it so
Yeah,
much. So
thank
much
you so
fun.
much. I learned a lot, a lot, a
Oh,
lot, a
you're
lot.
welcome. You're welcome. That's the best part is when you do something and somebody gains, that's amazing to me that somebody would want to know.
Isn't that funny? And you don't know what you know, but we're like all like, could you tell us about that piece of paper that you're holding right there? But it's true. We all want to share that information and.
As an artist for so many years, you just don't know until you try. And I can tell you stories about things that blew me away that, you look at something, you're like, I don't know about this. Like, let me try anyway. You don't know until you try. The worst case scenario, somebody will say no. Yeah.
Yes.
The funny thing, I mean, it's like, you know what ATCs are?
Yeah.
Little tiny 4x6, 2.5 by 3.5, little tiny things.
Yeah, so we did for our lunch and learn today.
Yeah.
I love ATCs. I love ATCs. You know why I like it? Because I hit a hump for a few years I couldn't create because there was a fire in the warehouse where I kept all my artwork and I lost everything there. So it's kind of like you lost your baby, and I just couldn't bring myself to do anything. And I used to make big, humongous things. And I have a really good friend, and she said, well, don't go for the big thing like what you used to do. Just do something little. And I Googled, what's little art, little size of canvases, and the ATC size came up. I'm like, oh, I can do 2.5 by 3.5. And I got a few and I put a few. And you know me and eBay.
Now we do.
So I had a few, like, oh, let me put it on eBay. And people started buying it on eBay. Like, I can't believe they're buying those little tiny little things.
That's pretty awesome.
And I swear, after not long, maybe 2 months after, some guy writes me and he's like, listen, I own a gallery in Georgia. And, in this, a lot of towns will have like a art district. And would you want to do you do bigger things than ATCs? And I'm like, I thought it was like kidding me. I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Like, nothing.
Oh, wow.
Sure. It's like, well, I'd like to invite you to exhibit in my gallery, do a solo exhibit. Now, I don't know if you know about artists, but for an artist to do a solo exhibit is equivalent to an actor gaining a major role in a Hollywood movie.
Oh, wow.
I mean, a
Amazing.
gallery has 12 exhibits a year. So you're one of
Oh.
12 artists
So
that
yeah,
does
you're taking up their space for a full month then.
for a full month.
Something. Wow.
Like
So
we
I
said,
go,
artist trading card. That's your artist business card right there.
so I'm like, okay, now what? And I tried, but after a while, I said, it's a little big on me. And I calculated the cost that I'm like, I have to frame everything and ship everything and go there. And I was working, and I said, it's a little too big on me. But the point was that somebody thought it was worthy just because they saw some of the little tiny little things that I did. And you know what I did? You know what the ADC that I did? You're never going to believe it. I took pieces of paper and I glued them together. It's all I did. Look, teeny pieces of paper and glued them together. So
Hey, everybody. So make your ATCs and your
yeah,
and your clusters and show them to us. We might have an artist in our midst.
we have everybody's an artist in our midst. Everybody's an artist. Art is self-expression, and you can't compare one to the other. It's only valued, who puts a value on it, art curators. Mhm. Remember the story with the banana on the wall? Crazy. It's a good way to get started for us to struggle. Don't struggle, just have fun. It's just between you and your art. That's all it is. It's between you and your art. Nobody else has to see it. I have a lot of things that I just threw away that I didn't like. Believe me. Believe me. Not everything that I make I like.
Not everybody, no, not everything has to work out, which is really nice to know, because I used to, I kind of am a little bit different where if something's not working out, I'll just, well, like you were saying, you just painted right over everything because you're just like, forget it. I don't like this,
Yeah.
And I do that too. I'll just cover it with another piece of paper,
I did in my art journal the other day. Hold on. I have a page here. Yeah, I mean, I took something that I didn't like, and I just used it as a background and gessoed right over it because I was experimenting with gold gesso. I saw somebody use a gold gesso. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. So I bought a little bit of gold gesso when I wanted to see what it does. So I took just paper, I glued the hell out of the page, and I took the gold gesso and put it right over it.
What is the purpose of gesso? Because I know you guys use it, but I have no idea what it is or why people would want to use it. So
Gesso acts as a bonding agent between the paint and the substrate.
okay.
When you put paint on something, you want it to have some tooth. You want to have something for it to sit on.
Like primer with paint.
Yes, but it's a little bit more opaque than primer. Primer is a little bit more gluey kind of material, but this is more for paint.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're putting something on plastic, on glass, things like that, they use a primer, not gesso. But if you're using paper, then or fabric, canvas, then use gesso.
Okay. So when would you need that? Like say for fabric or whatever, what?
If you want to take rice paper, for example, you have a white piece of paper, you have old sheets, white sheets, you don't want to throw it away. You want to use it for your art journal, but you don't want it to be just white. Cut out pieces of paper, pieces of the fabric, and take transparent paper like rice paper that has images, and then you glue it right on top of it. Let it dry, and it'll become a part of it. So it'll look like you have a printed fabric.
So I have some stuff like that. So that then you do that with the gesso then?
I will do that with, if the fabric is printed, if you have printed fabric and you don't want that print to show at all, use gesso.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to play around with it.
I always just tell people experiment, like put gesso on one thing, on one side of something and not on the other, and you'll see the difference. You kind of get the idea of how it works and how it acts.
Right. Yeah. Well, the thing is that fabric usually drinks a lot of material. So if you use expensive material, then it'll drink it, and you wasted a lot of
Gotcha. Okay.
medium. You use medium, and you don't really need it.
Okay. So
Depends on the kind of fabric too.
yeah, Nikki says she uses gesso to make texture pastes. And Vanessa says she gessos her canvases before she paints. It smooths out the surface. A ridge filler of sort. Okay, so that makes sense.
Yes. It gives you a smoother surface to the fabric, to the canvas. But I like texture actually, so I'm not gonna. I usually don't
Yeah.
use. I love texture. I think it's a lot of fun. You take it and you like she, she used it for like paste, and you put material in it and you rub it on or you put it on. It gives you something fun.
All right, let's see. Gel medium first, then the gesso on top. Okay, yeah, I was wondering about that.
Why?
Then I thought maybe she had said she used acrylic paint, but I think one of the things she used was acrylic paint, maybe not the black.
Yeah. Whatever works. Whatever works. Not two artists do the same thing, whatever works for you.
Sonia says, I have my first mixed media piece sitting here that I made like 5 years ago. I absolutely hated it and never tried again. I don't know why I kept it, but now that I look at it, I feel like I can make it work for something.
Awesome. Oh, that's wonderful. You see? If I showed you what I started with, actually, I have a few.
Fun to see how you change, I guess. Say not progress, but
see.
change.
Oh, I want to make it bigger. Hold on.
I tried to show, but it's not, I don't, my camera's not very good, I
Just
guess.
do it maybe a little, okay, a little slower. And let it focus.
Pull it further back. It might help.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because you have your
Sure,
background
okay.
blurred. So hold it,
Yes.
if you hold it right in front of your face, sometimes it works. Yeah.
Okay,
There you go.
You can see it now.
I see it now.
Yeah, it's starting to come in.
So
Oh,
it's
that's great.
been so long since
Hold
I
on.
worked on this. I know there's crayons in it. And I use embossing powder. I think I use gesso because it's on a watercolor card. So yeah,
Like
I
the
don't know.
colors. I like it.
So, I guess what I've learned about this is you got to try, right? You got to start somewhere. You got to try.
Absolutely.
And I'm kind of glad I kept it because even though I wasn't crazy about it, there might be elements of it that I can take out and use, especially in the junk journaling. But anyway,
Yes.
I just wanted to share that so that, in case
Lovely,
anybody,
that's good.
I think
None
it's,
of us started here. We all started there.
yeah.
We all started building. I've been doing it for 40 years. I started taking art classes when I was 12 years old. I'm still learning today. As of now, I'm still taking classes. I saw Karen Tamir's class this morning. She taught me something I never thought of before, never knew before. I was blown away. I'm like, this is so cool. I love that, And she's my friend, and I talk to her all the time, and we see each other's works all the time. And I'm like, Karen, I can't believe I still have things that you can teach me. This is awesome, and I got really excited. We all started somewhere, and we're still going forward, always.
Well, thank you for being an inspiration and letting me share.
Thanks for sharing.
Show me what you finished, what it will look like. I would love to see. Amazing. Not fun. Oh my God, this is great.
It's like we're just all hanging out. It's really nice, This is such a nice community.
I'll say stop the recording for now, and then we'll do another one for hanging out.
Okay. All right.